let's go to the headlines then. What's making news today, Dom?
Well, in the Telegraph, we got the story about John Prescott's bulimia, or bulimia, as he calls it, which I find quite odd. I mean, he did actually, you know, he had it for 10 years. Well, it is a bit odd. I mean, particularly that this is the first recorded case of a man. I mean, normally, obviously, it's something associated with sort of young girls. Yeah. But men do get it. People like Uri Geller have had it and stuff. But this is the first time someone of his age has got it. So maybe this is going to be a new wave of elder bulimics coming out. 20 years or something he was battling. He's not a very successful bulimic, it has to be said, in that he didn't manage to keep the weight down, certainly. No, but then again, when I was reading about his gorging, he would have a 5-course state banquet and then go straight from there to a burger bar and eat his way through several burgers.
Is it a bit cynical to say that it's just coincided with his book coming out?
Oh, I'm sure it's a coincidence. I feel a bit sorry for this guy.
Can you just say that just like you did again, because it was so convincing, Dom?
I feel sorry for this guy here, because apparently his favourite Chinese restaurant in Hull is Jack Chu's place. And, of course, now it's famous for being the place that John Prescott would go and gorge and then throw up in his loos. I don't know how great that is as a recommendation.
It's a terrible thing, because I'm with other Dom, Mr. Holland down the end there, because I also think it's an amazing coincidence that it should come out so close to his book. And, therefore, I find it...
What, you don't believe it?
No. I find it quite difficult to sympathise.
Well, actually, that's the opposite of what he wants. What he wants, though, he wants to sort of become a victim because he was one of the most inept politicians of the last 20 years.
To be honest, I think if he wants to be a victim, he could probably come up with something a bit better than that. I think, to be fair to him, it's clearly something he did suffer. I mean, it's not the best thing to come up with, is it? It's not going to change our...
But
it makes you feel sorry for him.
It doesn't gel with Prez's 2 Jags image, does it?
No.
It makes you feel sorry for him.
Maybe the second Jag carried all his food. That was the idea.
Now, on a serious note, I mean, I did find it intriguing the headline there, did Blair know he'd left a sick man in charge? Which, I mean, just...
But that's the least of your worries. It wasn't the fact he was a sick man. We used to worry when he left him in charge, because he was unbelievably thick and aggressive. That was the least of the worry. The fact that he was sick would be fine. Someone else could take over.
OK. So that's our former Deputy Prime Minister. Anything else in the papers?
Well, there's a story in The Sun about Prince William putting his chopper in Kate's garden, as they put it. This is him landing a Chinook that he was supposed to be out on exercises with in Kate Middleton's garden.
That's a big one, she said, yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you're going to do that, aren't you, to be honest?
Well, I mean, originally we were thinking over the weekend of actually doing a discussion this morning. You know, do the royals, you know, extract the urine? Because this is the second case in, 2 weeks? We had one earlier where they used a Chinook to drop them off to a stag do. Yeah. Here they are dropping off into their girlfriend's garden.
But I mean, for God's sake... But you're supposed to... Normally, to get this, you know, to do this course, it's normally 4 years, you know, and he's doing it in 4 weeks or whatever. I mean, they're extracting the urine anyway, because he's having a go at all of them. But come on, if you were the heir to the throne and you had your own helicopter, you're going to land in someone's garden,
There's a couple of big ifs there.
Yeah, but you're not. But he is. I mean, what else is he going to do with it? I think it's fabulous.
So he dropped his chopper in Kate's garden. You leave your mopeds randomly scattered around in TV studios.
It's a scooter. It's a Vespa. It's very important. Mopeds are naff.
So you had his scooter and you...
I knew this was coming up. I did a programme here at the production company here, and, yeah, there's an underground basement, and I left my scooter there. And then the last time I was here, about 2 years ago, I must have got a little bit drunk, and I completely forgot where I'd left it. So I thought it'd been nicked. And then I got this call about 3 weeks ago from someone who turns out to be your cameraman, him. And he goes, do you own this vehicle? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, I've got it. It's been in the basement. I go, oh, right. And he goes, do you want to sell it? I was thinking about it. I said, well, I'll sign it over. He goes, oh, don't worry, I've already done that. I own it now. But he did pay up. He did pay up, so it's Richard there. So. Is it still working, is it?
Did you often just leave vehicles around?
It's just one of the things I do. I just leave vehicles around as a sort of gift back. What?
Did you report it stolen?
No, because I kind of knew I'd left it somewhere and I thought I was going to remember. That's fantastic. Also, it was painted. It was supposed to be a really cool shade of brown, and actually it turned out to be a sort of, I'm not going to mention what kind of brown, but the wrong sort of brown. So I always thought, well, no one's going to nick that, so it'll turn up somewhere.
There aren't many cool shades of brown.
No.
There are. I love brown. No. I'm big on brown.
OK. Well, let's get one more from you.
What is this one? Oh, this is from the Telegraph. Men drivers behave just like cavemen. I mean, you know, hardly a big story, is it? I mean, we all know they do. The bit I liked in this, though, it says, right at the end, however, women have a greater frequency of accidents at bends because they're more prone to errors of judgment and perception, which I thought evened it up a little bit. But, no, I mean... men do drive like cavemen, but I mean, so what? I mean, what are cars for?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said. Well said.
I think life comes down to whether you call bumper cars or dodgems. If you drive dodgems, then you're obviously trying to avoid, and if you're bumper cars, I'm bumper cars.
I'm bumper cars. That is brilliant, actually. Carol, bumper cars or dodgems?
Dodgems.
There we go. I kind of knew that. What have we got as headlines from you then, Carol?
Well, Matthew...